Marilyn Monroe personified Hollywood glamour with an unparalleled glow and energy that enamored the world. Although she was an alluring beauty with voluptuous curves and a generous pout, Marilyn was more than a 50s sex goddess. Her apparent vulnerability and innocence, in combination with an innate sensuality, has endeared her to the global consciousness. She dominated the age of movie stars to become, without question, the most famous woman of the 20th century. A biography of Marilyn Monroe's life is shared below. Visitors can also explore additional areas of interest and learn more about her charitable efforts. Personal quotes, favorite things, estate auctions, and read extensive material related to the 1982 reopening of the investigation into her death. Click here. She was born Norma Jean Mortensen on June 1, 1926 in Los Angeles, California, to Gladys Baker. As the identity of her father is undetermined, she was later baptized Norma Jean Baker. Gladys had been a film cutter at RKO Studios, but psychological problems prevented her from keeping the job, and she was eventually committed to a mental institution. Norma Jean spent most of her childhood in foster homes and orphanages until 1937, when she moved in with family friend Grace McKee Goddard. Unfortunately, when Grace's husband was transferred to the East Coast in 1942, the couple couldn't afford to take 16-year-old Norma Jean with them. Norma Jean had two options: return to the orphanage or get married. On June 19, 1942, she wed her 21-year-old neighbor Jimmy Dougherty, whom she had been dating for 6 months. She was a sweet, generous, and religious girl, Jimmy said. She liked to be cuddled. By all accounts, Norma Jean loved Jimmy, and they were happy together until he joined the Merchant Marines and was sent to the South Pacific in 1944. After Jimmy left, Norma Jean took a job on the assembly line at the Radio Plane Munitions Factory in Burbank, California. Several months later, photographer David Conover saw her while taking pictures of women contributing to the war effort for Yank magazine. He couldn't believe his luck. She was a photographer's dream. Conover used her for the shoot and then began sending modeling jobs her way. The camera loved Norma Jean, and within 2 years she was a reputable model with many popular magazine covers to her credit. She began studying the work of legendary actresses Jean Harlow and Lana Turner, and enrolled in drama classes with dreams of stardom. However, Jimmy's return in 1946 meant Norma Jean had to make another choice, this time between her marriage and her career. Norma Jean divorced Jimmy in June of 1946, and signed her first studio contract with 20th Century Fox on August 26, 1946. She earned $125 a week. Soon after, Norma Jean dyed her hair blonde and changed her name to Marilyn Monroe, borrowing her grandmother's last name. The rest, as the saying goes, is history. Marilyn played a series of inconsequential characters in her first films until 1950, when John Huston's thriller, The Asphalt Jungle, provided her with a small but influential role. Later that year, Marilyn's performance as Claudia Caswell in All About Eve, starring Bette Davis, earned her further praise. From then on, Marilyn worked steadily in movies such as Let's Make It Legal, As Young as You Feel, Monkey Business, and Don't Bother to Knock. It was her performance in 1953's Niagara, however, that delivered her to stardom. Marilyn played Rose Loomis, a beautiful young wife who plots to kill her older, jealous husband, Joseph. Cotton, Marilyn's success in Niagara, was followed with lead roles in the wildly popular Gentlemen, Prefer Blondes, co-starring, Jane Russell, and How to Marry a Millionaire, co-starring, Lauren Bacall and Betty Grable. Photoplay magazine voted Marilyn the best new actress of 1953, and at 27 years old she was undeniably the best-loved blonde bombshell in Hollywood. On January 14, 1954, Marilyn married baseball superstar Joe DiMaggio at San Francisco's City Hall. They had been a couple for 2 years, after Joe asked his agent to arrange a dinner date. "I don't know if I'm in love with him yet," Marilyn said when the press got word of their relationship, "but I know I like him more than any man I've ever met." During their Tokyo honeymoon, Marilyn took time to perform for the servicemen stationed in Korea. Her presence caused a near riot among the troops, and Joe was clearly uncomfortable with thousands of men ogling his new bride. Unfortunately, Marilyn's fame and sexual image became a theme that haunted their marriage. 9 months later, on October 27, 1954, Marilyn and Joe divorced. They attributed the split to a conflict of careers and remained close friends. Marilyn was ready to shed her shallow blonde image by 1955. It had gotten her into the spotlight. But now that she had the opportunity and experience, Marilyn wanted to pursue serious acting. She took a hiatus from Hollywood and moved to New York City to study under Lee Strasberg at his actor's studio. In 1955, Marilyn started her own motion picture company, Marilyn Monroe Productions. The company produced Bus Stop and The Prince and the Showgirl, co-starring Sir Laurence Olivier. These 2 films allowed her to demonstrate her talent and versatility as an actress. Marilyn received further recognition for 1959's Some Like It Hot, winning a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Comedy. On June 29, 1956, Marilyn wed playwright Arthur Miller. Friends reported she made him giddy. While they were married, Arthur wrote the part of Rosalind Tabor in 1961's The Misfits, especially for Marilyn. The movie co-starred Clark Gable and Montgomery Clift. Sadly, the marriage between Marilyn and Arthur ended on January 20, 1961, and The Misfits was to be Marilyn's and Gable's last completed film. At the 1962 Golden Globes, Marilyn was named Female World Film Favorite, once again demonstrating her widespread appeal. Sadly, in a shocking turn of events the evening of August 4, 1962, 36-year-old Marilyn died at her Brentwood, California home. The world was stunned. Marilyn's vibrant spirit and beauty made it impossible to believe she was gone. On August 8, 1962, Marilyn's body was laid to rest in the Corridor of Memories. 24 at Westwood Memorial Park in Los Angeles, California. During her career, Marilyn made 30 films and left 1. Something's Got to Give unfinished. She was more than just a movie star or glamour queen. A global sensation in her lifetime, Marilyn's popularity has extended beyond star status to icon. Today, the name Marilyn Monroe is synonymous with beauty, sensuality, and effervescence. She remains an inspiration to all who strive to overcome personal obstacles for the goal of achieving greatness.